Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gran Terra Rebirth. I'm John, the Game Master for the evening, and with me today is William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Gashkar. I almost called her Graza. Gashkar Stormcaller, the half-orc barbarian.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara. I'm playing Hope, Revenant Azima Rogue Barbarian.
And Cody.
I'm Cody. I'm playing as Corbin, the human battle master.
And Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack, and I'm playing Vodka, the Vodka High Elf Vodka. Gwynferon, the High Elf Divination Wizard.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I'm desperately seeking caffeine at the moment, but I'm playing Lulu, I almost said gnomish, halfling blood hunter.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I am playing Selena, the fire genasi who has pretty much turned into a ball of pure rage at this point. She's also a wild mage sorcerer.
We're working on it. We're trying.
I mean, she hasn't turned exactly into a ball of pure rage, because that's not on the chaos list. When last
That's
we
what
left
happens when you roll a 101.
our adventurers, they had just come back down from ascending the Tower of the Gods a second time, dealing with a massive titan and demonic infection that attempted to spread to two of the other party, Hope and Corbin. After dealing with that and reuniting the second piece of the celestial beacon that the Plane Shaper uses to reform the world, they exited the tower, Hope exiting last, seeking some manner of knowledge from the tower, but receiving nothing really in return. And as Hope stepped outside to rejoin her comrades, she felt a pull in a northerly direction that she instinctively knew was the guiding beacon to the scales of fate, which had become extant in the world. And a voice in the back of her head went, "It's time."
Oh no. Okay. I am going to attempt to not show that anything's wrong on my face.
Sure. Is anyone excruciatingly staring at Hope right now?
Nope.
Okay, Hope. You can make a deception roll.
All right.
Just go off our path.
I have a decent passive insight if that
7.
matters.
Is anyone's passive insight less than 7?
Nope.
Nope.
No, that's my modifier.
Well, with that wisdom boost, that would make my passive insight 13, so...
Everyone instantly knows. So Hope sort of steps out. You don't instantly, but Hope steps out and just immediately sort of locks up for a moment, which you all sort of notice, and then just like begins fidgeting.
Hope,
Hey,
Yeah.
you all right?
stop.
Does she look poisoned, or does she smell
No.
sick?
No, nothing.
I
Okay.
smell of sick.
It's just.
So do I.
It's mostly just.
What happened on that date you guys went on?
nervousness.
You don't know. You don't even know we went on a date.
He knows.
God, so smug. All right. No. There's something I have to find. It's here now. Yeah.
Something you have to find. That sounds. I would be happy to assist if you require any help.
Sure.
And then he takes a very deliberate step back and sort of tries to fade into the background in a sense, as to not imply pressure.
Yeah.
Lulu sort of pats him on the shoulder. Nice try.
So I would like to know if there's any sense of whether Gwyn is aware that this is a thing, because I know you've been watching us for a while, and I don't know how much Gwyn knows, and Hope would be worried about that.
Roll an insight check.
And it's +1 right now, so 24.
So you get the sense mostly that Gwyn doesn't know details.
Okay.
Gwyn knows. Gwyn knows what Gwyn knows to look for, and Gwyn gets flashes of maybe you should look for this. And just the way that he presented that question, it's pretty evident that he doesn't know why you're looking for a thing. He just knows that if you're looking for a thing, he can help.
Okay. He knows I'm looking for a thing, and he has no idea what it is. All right, cool. Okay. No. We need to find out what's there now. Maybe we also never followed up on the war that was happening. So maybe we should go do that and see if anyone knows what was on the other side of that part of the abyss, because there were people who knew about Eleonora, so someone must have a map. Someone has to have a map.
Well, if you're speaking of the eventual pulling back of the veil that
Yes.
expands, it's possible that someone there has a map, or it's possible that a map may have spontaneously sprung into existence as the Plane Shaper has recently smithed another sector of reality into existence. And yes, we can definitely investigate and see who might know what.
You don't even need to make a roll for this, Gwenfron. There is a map in the Black Archives that expanded itself when the first time this happened.
Yep.
It may very well have expanded itself now as well.
I believe that Master Salzbach might be the person to consult on this.
Who's that?
Jack Salzbach. He's the keeper of the Black Archives for the Elemental Magisters. The vast summation of knowledge that they have been able to glean. And there's cartographs and that sort of thing that have previously populated themselves with additional information once apparently you lot changed the scope of the material plane. So I assume that in this latest update, shall we say, the same sort of incident may have taken place. I can well, it is a bit late, I suppose. What time is it?
It's actually not that late. You guys entered.
Oh, okay.
You guys entered in the morning. It actually, as far as you can tell, no time has passed from the time you entered to the time you left.
Oh, well, that's odd. But yes, no, if you'd like to.
It certainly feels like it should have been several hours, but
Yes.
the sun's in the exact same position it was previously.
At
Either
the same
it's
time,
been an entire day
a
or
lot
no
of
time
us got
at all.
very nearly dead, so
So we can either take a bit of a breather and try to recoup some of our spent energy, or we can simply proceed to the libraries.
Library. This
Yeah,
not unless
fine. I'm
anything's going to
good to
attack
go.
us in the library.
You know,
Well,
it's a chance.
I mean, it is a library of the vast summation of knowledge collected by some of the most powerful arcanists in existence, if not the most powerful.
I mean,
Oh, is this a Magister thing?
yes.
it is,
Okay.
yes.
G-Minor, why don't you tell us a little bit about Jack?
He's rather musically inclined, a bit performative in his personality. He's a skeleton.
Ding!
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Very enjoyable chap, though. Widely knowledgeable on a
alright.
great manner of topics, and he's he's a he's a fascinating conversationalist.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. He's all right for a magister.
Well, he's not per se a magister himself. He's got a strong
Close
affiliation,
enough.
but yes, no, I believe you'd be correct in that analysis, Selena.
But that's okay. But he works for them, the
Yeah.
Magisters.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a joke I'm supposed to tell at this point. He can do amazing things with his fingers. Yes, that's what it was. I'm not supposed to explain that. I'm supposed to just say that much and let it lie.
What? What?
Ew!
I
Excuse me. I'm going to go somewhere else and vomit out everything that I have inside me, including bone and muscle now.
That would be an impressive feat. I'd be amused by it.
no, we need more information. So,
Yeah, let's
okay.
get going.
It's a skeletal structure joke.
I don't get it.
Carpal bones. He can.
Yeah.
Never mind. You'll see when you get there.
Okay. Onward.
All right.
Head
Yeah.
toward there.
If everybody seems inclined to depart, Gwyn will lead them to the Black Archive.
So you head to the manor of the Magisters, which is a sort of a squat, square, two-story building with a large oaken door on the front with two big, sort of like steel knockers on the front. You walk up to it, and the door is there.
For the record, I like how that conversation went. It's not like we're going to get attacked or anything. Well, we might. Okay, let's go. Like...
Folks are panicking, so no.
We're a party of adventurers. I feel like that is something that every party of adventurers eventually does.
So yeah, you are standing in front of the large wooden doors to the Magister's building.
What is the usual entrance protocol for this
You
place?
knock on the door, and it
Right.
asks you where you want to go, and you tell it.
So yeah, Gwyn will go up and with this staff of Farsight just rap on the door twice.
Gwynferon. Where do you wish to go?
The map of all realities to the material plane.
The Black Archive.
That would
Very
be the
well. The door slides open very slowly, and inside is just pitch blackness.
Step through.
It's okay. We're only like 70% likely to die.
I'll go first. I'll
Yeah,
protect
she
you.
walks through.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
So,
Go in. Yeah.
all right.
Yep, working.
Gashkar?
Yeah, I didn't.
So, as you all go in, the
Lulu
door...
will walk in front of the squishies because they've expressed a concern about dying.
The
The
door...
squishies went
Oh,
in first.
Selena said we're likely to die, but then walked ahead.
The door
I can walk past you. Sorry.
I can walk over you.
slams closed.
I can walk under you.
And you see
Sorry.
the door is sort of sitting in a wall of shadow that doesn't seem to be, strictly speaking, connected to anything. Beyond it, however, you look around and you see that you have stepped into what appears to be a massive archival library. It seems to be at... some of you that have been here before, it seems to have grown taller since the last time you were here. Last time Selena was here, I think it was like 5 stories tall. It's now 10. If you look up, you see 9 distinct other layers going up. Bookshelves, left, right, center, upside down, lined with books. Just sort of this. It's very much not the building you just stepped into. Looking at the interior dimensions, at the very least. And sort of directly ahead of you, there's a large, sort of librarian's desk, covered with books and papers and scrolls. And sitting in the chair behind it is a bleached white skeleton, leaning back as if it just sort of sat down and died. Jaw hanging open, lifeless appearing, wearing a very well-kept long coat and suit with a what's it called?
Cravat.
A cravat, yes. A cravat sort of tied and tucked very neatly into the shirt. Just sort of and a cane sort of draping against its wrist, just leaning back.
What up,
Afternoon,
Jack?
Master
I
Saul's
think-
back.
I think you're. Does it
Oh
move
no,
yet?
no.
No, it hasn't moved yet.
This is normal.
Okay.
Hey.
I think your friend died.
No, this is normal. Hey,
Stop.
Jack Rack.
There's a sound of clicking, and it goes.
Hmm.
And the sound sort of adjusts itself and sits up, reaches over, grabs the top hat, puts it on, stands up. It's actually fairly tall. It's about 6'4". Visitors once more to my black archives. Welcome. Some of you I know, many of you I don't. I am Jack Sulzbach, the proprietor here. How may I be of assistance?
What's up, Buttercup?
The ceiling,
We're in
and currently 5 more floors.
search of a map.
Any in particular?
Something that will show us the recently expanded scope of the material plane.
North.
Cartography, then. Follow me. The skeleton picks up a cane, his cane, and walks, using it, just casually walking up the steps, stops for a moment, looks around, moves to the left, up. So there's sort of like a traditional foyer, one grand staircase that goes up and splits and goes up to the back wall, then splits and goes left and right. It goes left up onto the second floor.
Following.
Do you exist if we're not here?
Yes, this is
Yeah?
my home.
Okay. You just sort of lie around there like you were doing?
It's quite comfortable.
Yeah? Do you why that does not seem very comfortable. Are you sleeping when you're doing that?
Yes.
Okay. And you just sleep until someone asks you a question
Oh no.
or until
You just-
someone walks by?
You just happened to catch me on my nap.
Yeah.
Okay. Mhm. Okay.
From what I understand, being dead affords you a great bit of spare time. The whole showering, eating, shitting thing, not so much of a priority any longer.
It's true, it's true. Instead, I simply while my days away reading volume after volume of my library.
The younger one here will have, I believe, more specifics, indicating hope as to what we're specifically looking for.
Yeah, I'm confused. What are we looking for anyway?
A map. We need a map of the north so we know what's up
And
there.
At roughly that point, he stops, and you hear a whoosh sound as he stabs his cane into a shelf of books. Ah, yes, the cartography section. This way, please. And using the tip of the cane, he pulls down a book, and as it does, you hear a and the bookshelf just slides away, and Jack sort of steps back and indicates through for you.
Go on. Through.
Why are we going to the north again?
Because I need to find something there. I'll explain
What?
later, Selena. I'll explain later.
All right, now I'm gonna insight check.
Sure.
Okay.
Gwyn is assuming this is what Destiny
12.
needed, so he's not inciting, he's just rolling with
You
it.
can give me a deception roll if you want.
Sure. Yeah, natural one. Hope's freaking out and trying not to say too much. She does plan on telling you, but not here.
Okay.
Not in front of these people.
Okay. Fair enough. Yep.
You all
Yep.
step through, and Jack does not follow. He simply removes his cane, and the bookshelf closes behind you. And then a voice off to your left. So you're looking for maps, and you see Jack is there.
Yep. Long time no see.
Yes, indeed. Over here. And he leads you over to a wall that has a large, like sort of a large world map on it that is missing a lot of data. But it does have, and you see, it looks like core, like, based on how the map is laid out, core is not centric. Core is, like, on the left-hand side. Like, if you were to compare it to, like, a spread-out map of Earth, it'd be like, core is, like, sort of where the United States is.
Right.
And the map has been filled north and south of that, but east is completely blank. East past Taram is blank.
Like, about how much percentage-wise would you say is filled in, given the scope of this chart?
About a third of it.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Seems to be progressing on a semi-linear scale.
And he will sort of reach up and push a button on the wall, which causes the map and the pedestal that it's on to disengage from the wall. You hear the grinding of gears as it slides down and then presents itself table-esque to you. And you can see there is sort of the northern, stretching from the northern to the southern end of the world. You imagine that there's a little bit of detail that's not quite finished out at the southern end, but you imagine that the north probably wraps around. If the world is spherical, which it is. You see sort of indications that have appeared for regions of the world. There's not detail. This is not like a detail map that shows like capital cities and things. It just has sort of a political. It's sort of like separated by political regions, or nominally political regions, or places that just aren't. The new areas that you can see are to the north, this sort of frozen area on the northern part of this particular continent that you're on, Issenfeld. There's a strip of wooded area marked only as the Feywood. There's another larger sort of wood and grassland area referred to as Tir Tar Narlin, and the Highlands. And then there, south of that, just sort of north over the body of water, immediately north of the sort of the peninsula that you can see Corazon, is a place referred to as the Desert of the Pure, and that's sort of the big name points that you can see that have appeared.
Can Gwyn make any sort of knowledge check to see if he knows anything about any of these? Or are they literally completely new virgin names to him?
They are completely new virgin names to him.
Fascinating as always.
Yeah. How specific is the sense I have of where this thing is?
So if
Is
you
it a pinpoint and I can like figure out like an area that it might be more likely in?
Yeah, if you can pretty much tell the exact direction. So if you look at core, if you look at where core is and just sort of extrapolate out in your mind, you figure it is somewhere between Tir Tarnarlin and the Feywood.
Okay.
Player question.
Somewhere in the...
Can Hope actually sense that well in here because this is weird dimensional space, or no?
Yes, Hope can still sense it.
Okay.
It's just, anywhere between.
Yeah, somewhere in this strange area. It's in here, and I will point out the area to the rest of the group.
Oh, fascinating.
So it's somewhere in there.
Master Salzbach, do we have any more precise information that has arisen recently as far as what specifics might be located in these regions?
Well, I have been going through some of the new books that have arrived, but I haven't yet had a chance to peruse them all. If you'd care to, everything above the 5th floor is new.
Gwyn looks like somebody just told him it was Christmas. Shall we adjourn to the upper reaches then?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
He takes his cane off the button, the map reassembles back to the wall, and he moves back over to the section of bookshelf that had closed, reaches up with his cane, pulls a book, and it opens up again.
Maybe we should split up and do research on multiple areas at once.
Fair enough. Shall we reconvene in, say, 2 hours, if not earlier?
Sure. Yep.
All right.
As you all step out from the bookshelf, it closes behind you. Jack doesn't come through, but he's already there on the other side.
Good.
So, what sections would you be interested in perusing?
The Feywood. I'll go with the Feywood. The information there.
I understand you were wanting to look into multiple areas, so the rest of you?
The region designated Tir Narlin, specifically histories, information as to cultural locations and areas of arcane and religious import.
And it might be a good idea to look at some of the other areas as well, in case it's important, in case it moves. So.
And what is this it that we're looking for? Because if it's referenced...
It's a thing. I know what it'll be. I know what it will look like when I find it.
But the rest of us are also looking, so it might be helpful if we were to know what we were looking for as well.
I'm the one who has to find it, though.
Yeah, some of us know. Do you have a section on...
Because I don't think it's been made even remotely clear at all that we're looking for what Hope is looking for.
Hope.
Do you even have just a
Selena's
name?
reaction would have been extremely different for the last half hour.
No, I did not tell, because when I told the group about the scales, it was Corbin, Kaylin, and I think Selena was in a corner drunk, so you don't know about this.
Okay.
Yeah, but Corbin
knows
know.
about this.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I trust Corbin, so I've told him.
Do you have a section? Section on animal weapons or god creation, stuff like that.
Very possibly.
Oh, so it's an artifact of divine origin of some sort?
I
Object,
kind of
tool?
wanted to learn more about this. I'm no
Yeah.
good at looking through books, so
And by this, I assume you're talking about your weapon?
yeah,
Yeah,
the
Storm Herald
spear.
Mhm.
Spear.
And the rest of you, or will you simply be joining them?
Gwyn's already made his objectives known, so he'll just go with that.
Come on, Selena.
Lulu's got a bit of a deer in the headlights stare going on at the moment.
I'm interested in this Desolation Bay.
Very well.
What about the place that's in between the places that you put names on?
The uncharted, the unnamed territories. The territories on the map that you looked at are simply the sort of claimed political areas or known areas of importance. The places between, there is information on them, but they're not going to be labeled on the big map.
Let's do that one.
Very well. Then follow me. And he sort of leads you all up, and stopping every once in a while to let one of you into a section of books. And every time one of you walks into a section of books, there is Jack on the other side.
Okay.
Yep.
And for those of you that are still on the outside, Jack is still there. And he continues on, leading you up, pulling a thing, letting you through, continuing on, leading you up, pulling a thing, letting you through. And eventually all of you are in separate areas of the book, of the library, whichever areas you were looking to go to, with a Jack there with you. So you can all make me investigation rolls.
Important question.
Yes.
Lulu is illiterate. Does she even get to make a roll?
Yeah, you can make an investigation roll.
You find the picture.
Oof. That's kind of rough. 19 for Gwyn.
30.
Nicely done.
Good old flat die roll. Hey, 13.
Nice.
Sure, why not?
I was gonna ask if I could have Jack help me.
So, Corbin, there's not much information on the animal weapons. Like, you can find.
Yeah, I wasn't really
some...
looking for. I just wanted this section. I was gonna look for the scales.
Yeah.
Information.
There's not much information in this section. This is a fairly smaller section of books than previously. Mostly what you find are legends and myths about divinely magical items. Nothing on the scales.
Worth noting, Gashkar does read, but she specifically doesn't read common script because the languages that she's literate in are Orcan Draconic. Yep. So she reads Draconic script and Dwarven script.
Interestingly, every book you open is in a script you can read.
Magic library.
It's a magic library.
Magic library.
So yeah, going. Lulu, you can't read. But for whatever reason, every book you open is a picture book.
Great.
And so, like, you can't read
I
words.
gain no information other than those sure are pictures.
You can't read words, but you can tell information from the images that are being shown to you. What you learn is that, so you were looking for, like, the areas between, the areas. Are you looking, like, for a specific area between those named areas?
So... To be clear, like, Lulu didn't know the place names specifically beyond knowing that there were names on the map. She's looking at this general area that's between the two areas that were specified as
in the parameter. What you learn is that that area is mostly unclaimed forest territory. It's this sort of dense jungle. In which there are a variety of... It's not too dissimilar from the Uncharted Frontier that you're from. There is an amount of population that lives there, but they're mostly hunter-gatherers and sort of like what civilization would term wild people. It's sort of this mostly untouched by civilization area. There are some amount of ancient ruinage there that people make use of that live in the area, but otherwise mostly unpopulated. With mostly unpopulated as far as civilization is concerned, I should clarify. Because Lulu knows that doesn't mean anything as far as civilization is concerned.
So it's pretty normal space compared to most of what I've been traveling through. Cool.
Yeah. Gashkar, what were you looking up?
Desolation Bay.
Desolation Bay. So you find information on both Desolation and Desolation Bay. Desolation Bay is so named simply because the area of Desolation is the largest area next to it. Desolation is this sort of barren wasteland that nothing grows in. There is sort of just on the fringes of it, there is some forested area, but for the most part, it's this flat or hilly or mountainous region in which ancient dwarven civilization used to be. But something happened, some sort of magical experimentation or whatever, leveled a lot of the civilization in the area. And as a result, it's mostly ruins and wasteland and harsh terrain and a harsh climate. And it's this sort of area that has... it's very... for anyone who's familiar with Eberron, it's very similar to the...
Mournlands?
The Mournlands. In that whatever sort of magical devastation that was unleashed here has caused weird things to happen. There are people that live there. There are people that can make a living there, mostly dwarves and orcs, and then people that live underground. There is a drow society in Desolation as well, but above ground is very dangerous, very potentially deadly. Going up from there, Jack.
Gwyn would be looking for specifically, in terms of the arcane places of importance, anything with a recorded teleportation circle.
So Tirtar Narlin. There are teleportation circles there, but there are no. You just get references to them. You don't get actual designations.
Okay. Do I get names of those places?
There are a couple of cities that have them there. The capital city of Tirtar Narlin is apparently a wood elf city in the forest. It is that area is sort of a isolationist wood elf nation. They guard their borders very stringently. And they don't allow much in the way of crossover. They're often at odds with the Highlands and the Desert of the Pure, which are their sort of immediate neighbors. The book sort of indicates that they consider themselves sort of a limiting factor on the Feywood, which is sort of their other neighbor on the other side of their territory. Apparently, the Feywood tries to expand into Tirtar Narlin, not like any sort of civilization. The wood itself tries to expand, and they sort of keep it culled back to the area that it is.
Okay.
It's sort of a militaristic society. You don't get much information aside from that because they're isolationist nature.
Okay. Now, what place names do I get for Tirtar Narlin?
Tirtar Narlin, that's it. That's the capital city. That's the only city you get.
Okay. Okay.
Selena, what were you looking for?
Good places to eat there. Good sites. Basically, since she has she's looking for the Frommer's guide to these areas, the tourist guide,
the tourist section,
because that's all that she really has interest in on this quest. Because she doesn't.
So you sort of skim across information on a general basis. The Desert of the Pure is apparently a religious state that exists solely within this one desert on the southern end of the continent that's obviously north of the peninsula. They worship a pantheon of gods that are not familiar to Khornites. It's not the same. It's not the Triad pantheon. It is a different pantheon altogether that they worship. They are There are reports that they have very concerning rituals, but no details about it. So it's sort of a traveler advisory sort of thing. It's like maybe not go here.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. She gets as far as religious state and moves on.
Yep.
Like she doesn't read a single word past that. We're not going there.
Hard pass.
Tir Narlin is a militaristic wood elf state. Militaristic wood elf nation.
Maybe vaguely better. Okay.
They are you learn a little bit about their isolationist nature. However, they are, in addition to being militaristic, they are also they have a wide variety of sort of food and drink stylistic approaches. They grow a lot of their food. They tend to be more vegetarian than meat eaters as a whole.
What should the discerning traveler to this place order upon entering a bar?
For the discerning traveler, don't look like a threat. Be wary of be wary of the encroaching Feywood. And don't ask for the rib special.
Okay. That's
also never fuck with a druid.
I need to write this down.
Also,
Don't
yes,
ask for the rib special.
Don't ask for the rib special, and be wary of druids. The Highlands.
The Eldeen reaches.
Ask for the rib. This is literally what she's doing.
Yep.
I am so pleased.
The Highlands. Are actually fairly accommodating and welcoming. It's sort of a plateau that overlooks Tir Narlin. It's higher land, hence the Highlands. It is populated mostly by halflings and gnomes. And along with halflings and gnomes, it has a wide variety of food and drink that they offer, as well as odd technological devices. They seem to be sort of a tinker society. They like to mess with things and construct things and see what they can make with it and see what they can do with it. Anything marked with a question mark, be wary of. Anything not marked with a question mark, be wary of. If it's not explicit on the side of the thing what it is, be wary of it.
Okay. And what is their favorite dessert?
They make a lot of... They actually make
this is
a lot
revenge,
of ice
by the
cream.
way, for weeks upon weeks upon weeks of... So tell me this random thing that I gave you no warning that you were going to have to know in Eberron.
The problem is that you're getting revenge on the wrong person. I'm not Zagrog.
Close enough.
They do a lot of ice cream. They do a lot of dairy desserts,
Okay.
and so they have a variety of ice creams and associated desserts.
Nice.
Flans and trifles.
We should go there.
And Isenfeld is Norway, basically.
Oh god. It's just
Norway.
Lutefisk as far as the eye can see.
So, continuing on,
I want to go there.
Mara. Or
Yes.
Hope.
Yes.
Remind me what you were looking for, because that was a lot of food ago.
Yep. I was looking at the Feywild, and my specific
Feywood.
angle would be like the Feywood. Yeah, sorry. Would be places where it would make sense for it to have come into existence near. I'm trying to figure out.
The Feywood is described as a tear in the planar boundaries between us and between the material plane and the Feywild. To such a degree that basically it is a section of the world in which the Feywild bleeds through. Similar to the woods that you've been to before in Southern Core, but on a much larger scale and on a more parasitic level than that one is. Where that one was sort of like... Where that forest is sort of like the Feywild is overlaid on the material plane, In this, there's actually been like a rent in the barrier that the Feywild is bleeding out through and into the material plane. It's this sort of long strip of forest that is constantly trying to encroach further east for whatever reason. But the wood elves have
Further
You mean
Further
further
east or
further
further
west?
west?
Further west. Sorry.
Okay.
Further
Just wanted to
west.
check.
Further west for whatever reason, but the wood elves of Tirtar Ireland are constantly keeping it back.
I must say, I feel like Desolation and Eisenfeld are keeping it from going further east.
It doesn't go east. It just doesn't go east. It only tries to spread west because Feywild.
Also, there's no plant life to go to east.
I mean, it doesn't care. It theoretically wouldn't care if there was no plant life east. Either way, but yeah, there's not much information about it. But what specifics are you looking for within it?
Any. I'm worried about someone else finding the scales first because I'm assuming there is someone in the world who has the same sort of sense that I do that something's gone weird and they need to find it first. So I'm trying to figure out if there's any, any civilizations nearby.
Tirtar Ireland is the only one that would be considered.
Okay.
I mean that and Isenfeld, but it's between the scales,
Okay.
as far as you can tell, are between the Feywood and Tirtar Ireland. So you probably don't have to worry about Isenfeld all that much. Yeah, it's just it has all the standard warnings of the Feywild that go with it. Don't trust your senses. Don't trust what you hear. Don't trust what you're told. Don't trust what you smell. And don't make a deal with anything. Be wary of entities that seem too good to be true. Illusions are everywhere. The place itself might be out to kill you, not just the creatures within it. There are there are reports of ancient sort of elven ruins in the forest between Tirtar Ireland and the Feywood, but there's not really any other civilization other than Tirtar Ireland that's like sort of right there.
Okay. And then I'd probably, if I have time left, depending on how long this 2-hour window, how long this part took me, I'd want to try and find Corbin in the animus weapons area.
Yeah. You can you rolled a 30, so it didn't take you too long to find that information. You can go out and find Corbin.
And Selena's with me because I think we were together, right?
Probably,
Looking?
Yeah. All right.
Unless you wandered off.
So the three.
Assuming I can find out about desserts in the same area we're at. Yeah, absolutely.
So the three of you and Jack are in a book area.
Can you go away?
No.
Okay.
Can you
All
turn
right.
off your hearing?
What?
Would you trust him if he said, "Now I can't hear anything"?
No.
No.
Well, then there you go.
So I'll explain, Selena, but not here.
All right,
Okay.
that's fine.
All right. How close is Jack hovering?
I mean, it's not a large space.
And
It's
we
like
need to
sort of
wait till we go. That's fine.
He's just standing there with his skeletal grin.
I couldn't find anything.
Okay. I'm gonna look.
Alright.
I don't know if this is
Maybe.
actually the right section.
80.
Give me an investigation. roll.
It's not really a weapon. Yeah.
Nope.
Natural one.
You find
God,
references to the rapier and gem that is in Selena's bag, and a couple of other interesting things, but you don't find anything. You don't find anything about the scales.
What's the
Thanks,
pure gem?
interesting is that John keeps saying, "Do you want to know about those things yet?"
Oh, I will bother you about these. What are they?
The book just indicates that they're animal weapons. It sort of had like a series of images about them.
I will point them out. Selena, look.
Huh? What?
That didn't Bouldrin give you those? I'll point to like a picture in the margin.
I think Baldrin gave them to me. I think I got them from the big pile of Kalen that was left.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact is still that you have them.
Oh,
we
why
have a
aren't
little
you
bit of
using them?
information. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. What are they?
They're an anima weapon. They're what like Corbin's spear.
Oh. Cool.
Why aren't you using them?
You don't know how to swing a sword, do you?
I know perfectly well how to swing. I know how to stab. You're talking to a sorcerer, so technically, no, I don't know how to swing a sword.
The
conversation happened that way.
Yeah, the notation underneath the image says Amalan and Kroidar.
They're fancy. They have names.
I feel like I wrote that.
Corbin's spear doesn't have a name. It's just.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sure it does.
Does it? Wait, what was it
Storm
called?
Herald.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Sorry,
yes. No,
I
do
forgot.
have those written down.
Okay. All right. You don't. Okay. Okay.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
Why?
What did they do?
I don't. The book
They've never been
doesn't say.
identified.
You have
Does
them
the
now.
book? That's what I'm saying. Does the book?
Yeah,
I wasn't asking the DM.
The book
indicates
indicates that these have never been identified. They have been entered like into the record of the book, but it doesn't know what they do.
Oh.
Bouldrin really should have stuck a post-it on these after he identified them, huh?
Oh, no, I've been fully aware that I've had these. I don't think Bouldrin identified them because I pulled them straight out of the pile and put them into the bag.
I may be wrong. I could have sworn there was something that Bouldrin identified and then snuck into your bag.
Bouldrin identified them and then handed them back to you because they can't. Bouldrin couldn't determine any. The only way to find out what they do is to attune to them, and they require attunement by an arcane spellcaster.
Okay.
Yeah, he put them back in your bag because you were passed out drunk at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And they require attunement by an arcane spellcaster, and they attune as one item.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what Bouldrin found out about them.
Yeah, attune is a pair.
Okay.
You should.
But yeah, if this is a section on weapons, do you have a section on god artifacts?
It would depend
Maybe that's
entirely.
better.
It would depend entirely on the artifacts. We have sections on the various gods. Is there a particular god in question?
Looks at hope.
Laretha.
Yes, we do have a section on Laretha, the scale bearer.
Yep. Let's go there.
Head out, follow the same Jack is there, now Jack is here shenanigans. And you end up in a perfectly symmetrical like sort of corner of books. For whatever reason, all the books in here are two different colors and they're split perfectly down the middle. But
Yep.
and you're in this book. Give me an investigation roll.
All right. Come on. 23.
So you find a book related to Laretha and the Scales of Fate. The Scales of Fate are scales upon which the dead are judged. Laretha assists in this duty with the other gods, specifically with the Color of the Dead. whose name, as soon as this will decide to populate for me, please, come on. Would you please roll 20, behave. I would appreciate it.
Dargoth.
Nah.
Dagoth. Dagoth, yes.
Dagoth.
Dagoth,
Yeah.
the Caller of the Dead. Basically, when people die, Dagoth summons them to his court, and Laretha is there with her scales, and they weigh the person's life against their death and determine what their ultimate goal is going to end up being in the afterlife. That's what they're for. So without it, it's basically been a crapshoot. Laretha has been unable to perform her tasks in assisting Dagoth, and because she is unable to perform her tasks, her power has been limited. The gods sort of work on this, and this is something that you understand just from your upbringing. The gods work on sort of a shared pool of divine energy, and that pool is based on them performing their duties and the faith that their worshippers have in them. And if one of them is lacking in power, they're all lacking in power. And because a lot of their power is currently invested in the void that is Idos's destruction, they are all weakened. If the scales could be recovered, then she would be able to return to her duties, which means that there would be a margin of power restored to the gods as a whole.
Okay.
They're not like they don't do anything by themselves or out of her hand. They're just scales.
Yep. And the description that I had gotten from the priest at the temple was they would be scales of impossible size, but is there any indication here if it might be another kind of object or type of thing?
It goes into sort of there is sort of an artistic rendition of the scales being used to weigh the souls of the thing, and like the image is like sort of one person standing like in the middle of a scale of this massive size, very similar to the scale that you found yourself on mentally when you died. And then on the other side, there's just like sort of people like weighed up, and it's sort of an indication of them like weighing down versus him being lighter than them or him being heavier than them, things like that.
Okay. Cool. All right. Can I look into sort of the politics of the gods, just because I know like a revenant, if someone like me was going to end up trying to chase after these, it might be someone someone trying to gain to either take away that power from the pool of the gods or to take away that power from the pool of the gods so that another god got stronger. Can I look up because I know demons are infesting the tower, and they'd probably have a vested interest in preventing this from happening, because presumably if the gods gain power, then the abyss is going to roll back faster and easier.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to roll. Yeah, basically demons would be very much interested in stopping you. Other pantheons would also potentially be interested in stopping you, because while the other pantheons aren't situated quite the same way that the Triad Pantheon is, they still have an amount of power based on the same sort of principles, but just a different pantheon. So if this pantheon falls, then their pantheon rises, and sort of there's that political power struggles within the divine pantheons.
Is this separate sets of gods from the ones that we have, or
Yes.
is this like different factions within
Separate sets of gods, like entirely. Like the elves of Tir Narlin have their own pantheon that they follow. The Desert of the Pure has its own pantheon that they follow.
There's a lot of them. Okay. That's weird. Okay. What are they doing? I'm so confused. Gods are weird. What are they doing besides sitting around and watching us mess around with the abyss? I'm really confused. Just metaphysically about this entire thing. Hope does not understand the gods. All right.
That's kind of the point.
Yep. Okay. What else? Random one. Is there a way to get something back that was given to someone in the Feywild? Because I, a long time ago, gave away a ring.
You have no idea, and you can't really
Okay.
find that. That's not information you could find.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay, practical terms. Eleonora had a boat or a skyship ferry system. How are we going to get there? Is there anything of that sort from one of these other nations?
Not that you can tell, no.
Okay, none of them. All right. Okay.
Oh, really quick, while you're thinking, is there anything else anyone else is looking up while you're in the library?
Yes, indeed. Gwyn will be taking some time to look for any notable artifacts. Because based on what Corbin said, he's 90% sure it's an object, not an individual we're looking for, based on what everybody's been talking about. So he's looking for any reputed artifacts of significant note that are related to these regions.
Okay, give me another investigation roll.
Okay.
Selena is looking for where in the library, under which books
Jesus
they hide
Christ.
the alcohol.
I'm rolling like shit.
You can give me an
15.
investigation roll. 15.
Natural.
There you
what?
go.
Natural 20. You're pretty certain
Somebody's-
you can spy the head of a wine bottle sticking out of one of Jack's ribs.
I'm going to try to sneak that off of him.
Give me a
Because
sleight
nothing's
of
better than a belly full of wine.
give me a sleight of hand roll.
I'm going to give myself advantage.
Okay. Let me look at his passive perception.
20.
All right.
Good thing I gave myself advantage. I
You got
got
something
it.
stuck in your rib
Wait a
cage.
minute, this is a rib.
His passive perception is 19, so you make it.
My wine now.
You reach in and you pull out a bottle of wine from inside his ribs. It's a dusty bottle with a cork in it.
Cool.
You can't really see into it to see what's inside.
It's a gelatinous cube.
I mean,
Do you open it?
yeah, of course I do. I didn't
I'm
go
slightly
this
concerned
Alright.
that this is
Go
going to
this
be
all
like
the way.
mummified
Okay.
remains.
Selena
All right,
is drinking
Style.
something.
Pop it open. Do you drink it?
Oh boy.
I smell it.
You smell it? Give me a perception roll.
Am I there? I don't know what's happening now.
I do not
Oh,
have
no.
advantage on that, so that is a 2.
Oh
my
boy.
God, Selena.
It smells like almonds.
Mmm.
I know it smells like almonds.
Selena doesn't know.
No. Are we?
Sure.
what-
Sure, give me a nature
I
roll.
The
guess-
con artist can't.
Not an assassin.
I mean, almond-based alcohol, first of all, does not
You know-
sound appetizing.
You know, it doesn't. It. You don't know what it. You can't tell what kind of alcohol this is. It doesn't smell like any alcohol you've ever smelled before.
So at this point, I walk over to Hope. I hold out the bottle.
What?
Does this smell like it's gone bad to you?
What is that? I wasn't paying attention. What happened?
Here,
What
I
is
hold it
this?
up here.
I
No.
smell it. I smell
Give me a
it.
perception check.
Okay. Perception. Let's see.
I'm just reading a book
That's
about
a
Larissa.
12.
Like,
It smells like almonds. You've smelled the smell before. You can't place where though.
Hmm. That smells
don't-
weirdly
you
familiar.
don't think it's something you want to drink.
Okay, maybe it's like cleaning stuff. I don't think that's good to drink, Selena. Why?
I put it in my bag of holding.
I'm so confused. Okay.
I listed it off Jack.
Oh. Wait to be. All right. He's right there.
Way to be.
Yeah. Corbin just like looks
You
at
didn't
Jack.
notice.
Notice what? Jack says.
See?
Selena, you have that spell that can get us places? Would you be able
Not
to
this
help?
instant, but
No, not right
eventually.
now, but could you get us to like if I've made like a copy of the map, I like point in the random area. Would you be able to get us
Just to a random area?
to I don't know, maybe this forest here or the edge of the desert?
Problem is I haven't been there.
Okay, what does that mean?
So, yes,
Mishaps like what happened before?
if I've got a really good, accurate description, I've got at least a
We have books.
semi-decent chance.
What would
If
help?
somebody could scry on said location and a way that we can all see it, it would be much easier.
A wizard dude. You have to trust what he tells you, though.
G minor?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I have to actually see it.
Oh,
And it makes it a little bit easier.
okay. All right. So he shows you this place, and then we can maybe get there.
And I mean, I can do it regardless. As long as I have a fairly accurate description of the location.
Well, we should at least find out from everyone else what they found.
There is I would say about 50-50.
Of what?
Is
Of
Gwyn
us-
here for this conversation?
No, you're elsewhere.
Okay.
Not yet. Yeah.
Of
Not
us,
yet.
either 50% chance of us getting there or someone near it. 50%
Okay.
chance of oops.
What kind of oops?
I don't think it really matters when magic's involved.
I
That's
mean,
just my personal opinion.
we could end up in a place that is sort of how's the best way to describe this? Thematically similar?
I will note for Selena's, because Selena knows this now. The area that Hope is wanting to teleport to is right next to the Feywood, which means
Dangerous.
that your percentages might not be correct.
As Feywild.
Because Feywild.
She's still saying 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it would be an area that looks like it, but it might be,
Because I think
point
it's
all the
in...
way on the other corner of the map where there's a bit of forest here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's or that's part of the chance that it might do. The other is like, I don't know, we end up somewhere completely random and
Someone's inside a tree.
take ridiculous amounts of damage. I mean,
Fun. Okay. Yeah, no, because it's here, and I like show the area. It's here. I don't. That's like, and I point out the Feywood. That's like where you and I went, Corbin. I don't. Time got screwy. I don't.
what on?
Yeah.
No, this was a while ago. This was
Back
was
when
before.
Nyx was with us.
Yeah. When was that? Was that River's End? No.
Yes.
Twin
It
Rivers.
was.
That was
Okay.
River's End.
River's End.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, was that when you went and made a deal with some stupid thing in the fucking forest?
Did we tell you about that?
Yes, you
I-
specifically
Okay.
did.
I don't remember that. I remember saying we're gonna lie and tell them that we just got lost.
Yeah, no. Somebody came clean. I remember that.
Okay. All right.
Because there was
No.
much laughing and mocking.
Yeah. No, I didn't make a deal with anything. I just left without taking my stuff back because that was a worse option. No. So
So
I
I'm
don't.
guessing we don't want to go, or do we? I'm confused.
I don't
You
think
have
it's
to, don't
wise
you?
to start. Yeah, I have to find it. I think the closer we can get to the edge of where I know it is, better. So if we can get to the edge of if this kind of eastern border of Tirtarnarlin, if we can get there,
Okay.
if that's safe, if you can do that. Or we end up on the other side of it or something. But we should go find the others.
Speaking of the others, Jack, or Gwenferon, you do find a mention of a staff. It's
Ooh, that's fascinating.
it's called the Staff of the Weaveborn.
Ooh.
It is apparently an artifact created when part of the elemental chaos touched the Feywild. This was something that was left behind. No one knows what it does, but people have been seeking it in the forests, in and around and within the Feywood for some time.
Okay. Interesting. Are there any clues or information that way that might lead to its...
It is an artifact of immense power. The theory is that you'll know it when you see it.
legit?
It's described as a seemingly innocuous wooden staff with an emerald encircled in the head, as if the tree had grown, as if the staff had grown around the emerald.
Okay. Cool. Rough physical description is good. Okay. All right. That's fairly fascinating. And yeah, he'll hunt down whatever remnants he can find on that thing until somebody comes to find him then, yeah.
So, eventually, you all gather back together.
All right.
So is
I think
everyone's search fruitful?
mostly.
Rather.
Enough.
Sure.
Should we leave to go make plans?
Sure.
All right.
Yes, speaking of plans, I'll want to consult with Hope and Selena specifically, of course, if anybody else wishes to be there for that.
Anybody
You
want
are,
drinks?
of course, welcome.
Because I could go
Oh.
for drinks.
Drink sounds good.
Sure. There's the Adventurers Guild. You get
Let's go get
Free
drinks.
booze.
free drinks.
They offer lodging there as well, don't they?
If
Yes.
you yeah,
Excellent.
Pretty good.
remember.
Hey Corbin, I bet I can drink more than you.
Probably it's been a while since I've actually had a proper drink. But the last one I had fucked me right up. You should go to Eleonora. I have a feeling there's a drink you would like there.
I mean,
It's pretty
depending on the
wild.
situation,
Proper fucked.
depending on the situation, I bet I could drink more than you. But it takes a very specific situation.
That sounds like magic to me.
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear the familiar slamming of the doors at the front of the Black Archives. Jack sort of tilts his head. Ah, I have another visitor. And then looks back at you.
Gwyn gets a little cagey. Do you know who?
No, I'm here with you.
Right. Let's go find out then. And he strides off very rapidly towards the door.
Jaskar's following behind.
I'm following.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we need to leave anyways.
All right. As Jack sort of heads down and you all head with, he gets around. Ah, Mari and Zendrick, welcome. You see in front of you a tall, angelic-looking tiefling, which is a very weird look. It's as if somebody took an Asimar and a tiefling and merged them together. It's this sort of Beafic, sort of perfectly sort of chiseled skin tone and face of an Asimar on the body of a tiefling that is just like sort of this almost porcelain white skin, these almost crystalline horns coming out from the forehead and rolling back, wearing sort of very well put together robes, sort of walking next to a floating white robe that has this sort of white gas emitting from the face and the sleeves. So the sleeves sort of end at roughly the bicep. There's just nothing, and then a pair of gloves and bracers below that. That's just sort of floating next to her as they are sort of walking in towards the desk.
Gwyn will sort of incline his head. Hi, Theurge. Master Pandemonium.
Who? What? How many?
Jack sort of turns and, this would be the Mystic Theurge Mari and the Pandemonium Zendrick of the Elemental Magisters.
Oh.
Zendrick just sort of, the hood inclines to the side as it looks at the group of you, and there is this sort of oddly rhythmic sound that sort of emits from it as sort of a bluish white glow comes out of the robes. Mari turns to and looks back. He says hi.
Oh.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Hi.
What up, fuckers?
Jack, we're looking for very specific information on wards. And Jack, yes, of course. And looks at the rest of you. Well, I trust that you found your stay here at the archives informative. Please return anytime.
Appreciated.
And he sort of
Master
turns and
Solzbach.
moves up to the stairs, and the floating robes float past, and Mari just sort of stands off to one side waiting for you all to leave.
Which Gwyn will do.
Yeah.
With
Let's go get
alacrity.
Who were they?
Two of
Step
the
out.
two of the High Magisters of the Elemental Magisters. Two of the most powerful sorcerers you're ever likely to meet.
Yeah, fuck them.
Ah.
You could certainly try, Selena, and they would likely eat you for breakfast.
That was the more metaphorical version.
Oh, that was quite clear.
Do you know them?
Me?
No, to Gwen.
In an abstract sense, I know of them. I haven't dealt with them personally very often.
Are you an Elemental Magister?
I'm affiliated, but no, I have not remotely reached that level of arcane comprehension.
What you're saying
Book
is
seems nice.
what you're saying is there's still time.
I have a feeling that the elemental magisters will potentially eventually be succeeded in the fullness of time, yes. Whether who that is to be and whether or not it's because they die or simply get bored with the material plane and go elsewhere remains to be seen.
You think too little of yourself.
Wait, they don't like they don't. Are all of them like Galadier then?
Gallier is
the-
not per se one of the magisters. He might be considered a magister. All of them are sorcerers, not wizards, as well. So that may be a qualification as need be.
Because he's weird. It's just,
Is he?
Yes. Yes.
There's a whole lot of talking and not enough drinking.
Yep. Let's go.
Sorry, yes, priorities. To the Adventurers Guild, then.
All right. You make your way to the Adventurers Guild and sit down with drink and food.
I try and sneak off.
The food that is provided is more sort of mutton and beef. Corbin has a flashback to a very mean joke.
Just for a split second, like, not again, assholes.
Pretty much immediately as soon as we exit the archives, Gwyn is trying to get Selena and Hope for a quick, brief discussion.
Hope is trying to grab Selena to sneak off.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, stealth is great. Scrying is better.
Lulu gets the sense that conversations need to happen, so is going to try and get Gashkar over to the drinks so that whatever combination of the rest of them can talk about boring, drony, theoretical stuff, and we can eat food.
So I'm not
Corbin,
going to
come on,
say...
I need to outdrink you.
I'm not going to say that she actively tries to sneak away, but Scrying can get fucked because of Ring of Non-Detection.
This is true.
Oh, yeah, for Selena, definitely.
Which has a 60-foot radius on it.
Yeah. It is just a radius. That's the great thing about that ring.
So I don't
That
know.
said, she's not specifically trying to sneak away, so she's not going to try to be sneaky, because she has she's blithely wandering through the world right now.
Hope you can give me a stealth check.
All right. Let's see. Maybe 29.
Okay. You can subtly indicate to Selena that you want to pull her aside.
Mm-hmm.
Gwynferon is, however, very obviously wanting to talk to both of you, having previously said that he wants to talk to both of you.
All right. Okay. What, Gwyn? What? What did you want?
So I understand that
Making faces.
it seems that transit north will be our objective sometime in the near future, yes?
Yes. To as close to the edge here, and I'll point it out, as we can.
And Selena, my conjuration abilities are not strong. However, given your previous appearance, I understand that you have the capacity for teleportation in lieu of needing a circle coordinate for use.
You understand correctly, good sir.
My concept is somewhat unorthodox, but given my capacity for instilling a telepathic communication, I believe that should you require it, I can utilize my scrying abilities to get remote vision onto a location, telepathically have you linked in with me at the same time without requiring concentration, and therefore hopefully by proxy allow you a more clear perspective, hopefully, on where you will be attempting to land, if that's something you'd be interested in.
I would very much like not to die, so yes.
Very well. Well, if there's a convenient moment, we can get a description from Hope as to where she needs to go. I will scry on said location and therefore hopefully provide visual clues and characteristics to you, and therefore, if you wish to, have a much better chance at success on the eventual teleportation when that does need to happen, if you like.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Well, just let me
First-
know what and where and when, and I'll be at your disposal at your leisure.
Can you do that spell today?
Indeed.
Okay. Later. Drinks first.
Drink sounds lovely.
And that's the point where I try and grab Selena away.
At that point, Gwyn is perfectly happy to let you do whatever you need to do.
All right.
So, Hope and Selena.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah. So I have to find it's the revenant thing.
Okay.
Okay. So I have to find they're called the scales of fate.
Right. So you okay.
So that's what we're going to find.
Okay.
Okay?
And this is like stage 1 or something like that.
It's however many stages it takes. I don't know how long it's going to take. I thought that this wouldn't come for a while, but here we are. So I don't know how long it's going to take.
Okay.
And then there we go.
Okay. So what's the plan?
The plan
Yeah.
is to go and find. I have to.
You're right. Okay, fine. Yes, I understand you have to. So what's the plan?
Yep. I don't have a plan.
Oh,
I have
my
to find them.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
stuff's gonna happen. And I need to make sure you're okay with that.
Well, you got to be a little more clear than that.
Okay. Then the revenant pact is done. And you know magic. You know how it works.
Okay. So what's the plan?
I don't have a plan. I asked Kayla, and she didn't know how to. She looked and she couldn't find any answers, so there is no plan.
Hold on just a second.
This is probably a good conversation to happen after Selena's used a lot of her higher level spells.
All right. We will just see how this goes. Who knows? This could take forever.
It won't.
It could literally take forever.
Could.
There we go.
I would like to insight check Selena to see
Make an
how
insight
she's
roll.
doing. Okay.
Poor Selena.
Stuff and yeah. That is a 16 or 17 actually.
Just
that's
like
my-
what's on the face.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, processing the. Okay, well, this is a time in the future. It's fine.
Okay, you're delaying it. Okay.
Yep.
All right, she's delaying. All right.
Denial.
Mhm. Yeah.
That is exactly what she projects.
Yep. Okay.
Longest
Denial.
force in the universe and the longest river in Egypt.
Mm.
It's a universal constant.
Yes.
So, anything else?
Mm. So do you know I have to find it?
What?
Do you know I have to find it?
I know why.
Yeah. Like, do you
Because the
understand?
thing that brought you back from the dead said you had to.
Did I tell
I-
you?
I get
Who-
that.
Yeah. Okay.
I know how revenancy works.
Mm-hmm.
We've had that conversation.
Yep. Yep. I remember that one. You worship all the gods. Why?
I
Carry around their
really
symbols
sort
all
of-
the
yes.
time.
Yes, because you never know when one might be useful.
So do you have
I
Larethas?
prefer to keep an open mind.
Okay.
I mean, if there's one, that I like over the other. I mean, I wouldn't say that to their face, although they hear everything supposedly, so who knows? But probably the one who has a long name that Jeremy cannot pronounce.
Eleni Arathis.
Yes, I think that's it.
Eleni Arathis is the queen of the dragons.
Oh no,
No.
right. The
No, it's the other one
Arachne?
with lots of A's and
Iradnir.
R's.
Iradnir.
Iradnir is
The
desire.
goddess of desire.
It'd probably be either that one or elemental. The
elemental chaos?
Mahusa Munker.
The elemental chaos, the
Yeah.
plane chamber. Mahusamunker.
Okay.
Mahusa Munker. Yep,
Yeah,
the elemental doodad.
yeah. The only one with the long. There are three that have long names: Eleni Arathis, the Dragon Queen; Sundered God, the Judicator; and the Elemental Chaos, the Plane Chamber.
But yeah, no, it's I, with the exception of certain ones who I don't think are really I get along with well. They're all they don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with them. It works out well.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they just fuck with you.
Yeah, I know.
Just because.
And then I can be a bitch.
Hmm. I don't know if that's a good idea, Selena.
It's fine. It'll work out. Like I said, who knows how long this is going to take?
2 hours later, you stumble over the scales. God damn it!
I mean, that could conceivably fine depending on the definition of we.
Selena kills the universe.
Doesn't kill the universe.
She's one of the fuckers that lives in it.
Right. I don't want to kill the universe.
Yeah.
It's a nice place. Where else am I going to sleep?
So they're scales, and they probably look like scales, or maybe something else. But when we find them, I need you to not touch them.
I mean, those are pretty much your two options. They look like scales, or something else.
Or something that is not scales.
Yes, I'm being very succinct. Yeah.
Is not scales? Question mark.
Who knows what they look like?
Okay.
Do you look like scales? Please check
You
yes
need
or
them
no.
not to be touched. Why?
Don't. I have to get them,
Okay.
and I
Why?
don't know because I have to bring them back to
Like
her.
if I touch them, does my face melt off?
I don't know. It might. I asked. No one knows.
You asked and no, they said, I don't know if your face melts off.
No, I asked what might happen to it, and if it probably won't do anything, but you're you, and so it might do something.
I will try really, really hard not to take offense to that. But only because I like you.
It's all the time, Selena. Just nonsense. All right. No.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
and I've already gotten Corbin to promise, but if it does something to me like that, I wouldn't. That I don't want like it to like Umbra, because it's probably going to change me. Then I need you to make sure that I don't do something that's going to destroy the world, because what we've been doing the past couple of with the tower, that's been good.
Okay, sure.
We're creating the world. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't want to undo that, and I don't know
that's
what.
fair.
Hmm?
We put a lot of work into it. It'd be really, really stupid to undo that. So I'm confused at this point. What do you need?
What if the scales, when I find them, when I have to give them back, if because apparently it might react to me somewhat, then if it does something, you know me, right?
Okay. No, I got it.
Yep.
I will make sure that the scales do not force you to destroy the world. Don't worry. I can promise that for sure.
Okay, good. And I've told Corbin too, so
he
knows.
Cool.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna go off now.
Well, okay. So one last thing.
Yeah.
What do we tell the new Chuckle Fox?
I have to talk to Gwyn and see if I want to.
I mean, I can tell you the answer there. No, you don't.
Are you
but
sure?
Maybe you do. I don't know, but you don't.
He knows the future slightly, a little bit, maybe.
So you're saying he either does
We haven't
know
had
the
a whole lot of
future or he
evidence of
doesn't.
this. Yeah.
He either does or doesn't.
One of those two things.
I'm really
Either he knows
everything's
the
really
future or
vague and it's
he's
bothering
not.
Hope. So yes. repeat.
I mean, so if he knows the future, is that, if he legitimately does, is that evidence in the favor of we should tell him or we shouldn't? Because I'm confused.
It depends on why he knows and what he plans on doing with that future. Because he saw my death and he didn't do anything.
Okay, I am glad we are on the same page about this shithead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have.
Okay, cool. Okay, then I say no.
I have to ask him though, because
ask him what?
It's going to be hard. This is going to be harder if they don't know.
I mean, look at it this way. We never know what the fuck we're doing anyways, and we managed to pull it off. So, if some of us know, we already have a leg up on 90% of what we've done today. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but you're very lucky, Selena, apparently. Somehow it's weird. You're weirdly lucky, and I don't understand.
Story of my life, charmed existence, clear.
Hi! We all went through the same thing. Who died 3 times? You're lucky, Selena.
That's one way to see it. Absolutely. Anyways, so yeah, I say no.
I'm
This
gonna.
is your quest, so
Okay. All right. I'm gonna
you
I'm gonna
gave
talk
me
to
a
him and
lot of
find out.
leeway.
But
I will give you a lot of leeway.
okay. All right. Can you send Corbin to and I describe an area the it's down kind of by the river. There's sort of docks area. Can you send him down there? I just need to walk.
Yeah,
Okay.
is this an area that I have been before? Just DM.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Very recently, in
He
fact.
goes away.
Is it a place where you lived in a van?
No, it's a place where there's a lady that sells weird things in a tent.
Oh, that
Oh, that's true.
Meanwhile, Gashkar and Corbin sit down to have a drinking contest. I need both of you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Oh!
So Corbin, you're drinking, and you're drinking. Gashkar, you're drinking too. Neither one of you
Lulu's
seem to
probably
be.
just also keeping pace with them, but
Neither one
competing.
of you seem to be being too terribly affected by the drink you're having. Although Lulu is getting drunk real fucking quick. You can give me another Constitution saving throw.
I have half of the body mass that the rest of you do.
It's true.
So drinks hits you twice as hard.
Corbin, you're still drinking. Gashkar's still drinking well. Corbin, you're starting to get buzzed. Gashkar doesn't seem to be even getting buzzed.
Gwyn will be taking a drink.
Give me a Constitution saving throw. Gwyn's a little
Intense.
tipsy. Give me another Constitution saving throw. Corbin and Gashkar.
You guys are going too fucking quick here.
Corbin, you're getting more drunk because you're just going through your cups faster now. Gashkar still doesn't seem to be affected at all. You continue drinking.
I gotta give a lazy look at her and. Are you cheating?
There's a little bit of lightning dancing on her fingertips. No, I'm just good.
Kashkar, give me a deception
Insight.
check. Corbin, give me an insight check with disadvantage.
14.
15.
She's cheating. Something you don't
Yeah,
know how. You don't know how, but she's cheating.
Yeah. I set my drink down. I don't. Magic and drinking should not mix.
I put my mug back on my belt. I grab what's left of his mug and drink it.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Jesus Christ.
Now you're starting to get tipsy.
Yeah.
So, for the record, on my tracking sheet, I have it automatically coded to show up as green if it's a good average, a particularly good average, and red if it's a particularly bad average. Right now, Cody's green and everybody else is red.
Yeah.
True.
But I'll just
Yep.
stick to what my character knows: drinking.
So,
But yeah, I'll just stop there.
okay, you're drunk, Corbin. You're not like pass out, blackout drunk, but you're disadvantaged
will-
drunk.
Go find the nearest cleric in the bar.
Zeno's there.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, I'll just walk up and tap Zeno and like on the shoulder, and then I'll do that weird face pat thing. Zeno, buddy, Zeno.
He sort of looks up at you as you impassively looking as you're smacking him in the face.
How much for one of them deals that makes this go away?
He reaches out, touches you, casts Greater Restoration. You feel better. And he says, don't do that again.
Deal. My bad. Sorry you had to see me like that. And I
Yeah.
just walk back to the table.
Gashkar pulls her tankard back off of her belt and sets it on the table. If you need to keep watch, but you want to have the taste of a good drink, get one of these. She says as she spins it around and kind of shows off the various different dwarven runes that are carved into the side of the tankard.
I read Dwarvish. What do they say?
It basically says ever vigilant, ever sober. It is a mug. Basically it's a magical mug that renders any alcohol put into it as a moot.
Mm. That's clever. I gotta get one.
I get the taste of the drink, but I don't get the buzz.
Where's the fun then?
I mean, if I really want to just get drunk, I can just use a different mug. But sometimes I gotta keep watch at that night.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And at roughly that point, Selena walks in.
So this is going to be much more disappointing than because I realize we have not had a long rest yet. Because I was gonna go, hey Corbin, boom, you're teleported.
Yeah, good.
You're supposed to go to this place.
Why?
I push Corbin into a standing position, turn him towards the door, and gently push.
I will walk out the door, I guess, and then I'll just stand there confused for a second. All right.
Think about who I was just talking to.
You guys
Now
snuck off.
Go.
Oh, they didn't actually sneak off.
Oh, they didn't? Okay. Then yeah, I'll walk there.
There's a bit of process of elimination involved, but
Where it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you find yourself down at the docks, just outside of a very familiar, strange-looking tent, waiting for Corbin.
Okay, I'm trying to remember exactly because I got like mind wiped after. I remember the tent. Do I remember Selena going in there?
No, it's a strangely familiar tent, but you don't remember it being inside or anybody going in or out.
Okay. I don't know why I know that.
This feels familiar to you.
This is weird. Okay. Nope, I'm gonna pace because she's other things on her mind besides a weird tent that I vaguely remember for some reason.
After a few minutes, Corbin arrives.
Are you all right?
No, but you know.
Yeah, you didn't look too thrilled at the end of all that.
No, it feels weird. Like it's that way. It's that way, and I like point very specific. Like it's that way. Can I tell how far it is actually?
A ways. It is
Okay,
a ways.
I don't have
It is a
exact
far away.
distances.
It is a very, very long distance.
All right.
You could get a measurement in miles, but that'd be a big number.
Well, each of those hexes is 25 miles. So if you want to count hexes,
Well, I don't know exactly where it is in that little.
to like,
that
if you want to
It's
count
a
hexes to like
solid area,
the middle to like the middle of that forested area, feel free.
Yeah. It's there though, and that's weird. It's very weird. You're all counting.
Has the voice in your head said anything? What happens when you find them?
No, it's started. That was all that I heard. Now they're kind of laying back, which is nice. I find it, and then I have to bring it back to Laretha. Or she'll find me. Mostly.
Then what?
then it's all gonna change. Either I'm dead, or it's maybe I become something like those lizard folk at the bottom of the challenge, or like the guy standing in the square.
What do you want to happen after this is done?
I want to keep going. I want the world to. I want to keep making the world. That's been the only thing that I've enjoyed about any of this. Besides.
I was gonna say, wah, wah.
Corbin just goes,
Burn.
well,
Corbin's
fine,
like,
leaves.
But of like the whole.
It actually, it's nice to see what you've accomplished when you've done the thing.
Yep.
Alright.
But I don't know. It's all. I don't know. What do you want to do?
Heard you wanted to go for a walk, so let's go for a walk.
Okay, but I meant more in like the long-term picture effect.
There's a lot more out there now, so I'd like to keep building, keep going to the tower until this is done, and then once that's done, I want to go out, see as much as I can before
Yeah,
I go.
that's good.
The voice in the back of your head, Hope, says, you could always take the long way around.
Yeah.
The long way around, as in through desolation.
Or delaying. We could delay. We could go back in the tower again.
Yeah.
But I worry.
What about?
I just worry about everything.
I mean,
just
I've
worry
noticed
in general.
that much.
Mhm. And I don't know if someone else is going to find the scales something else, because they've been lost up until now. And now they're there. And what if something else?
Hello,
Something like-
welcome back.
What?
No one's back, Jack. You fell asleep.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Oh no.
I think Jack is having a problem.
Okay. All right.
Jack, can you hear
Jack.
me?
Jack. Hello, welcome back.
Jack, are you having a problem?
Gwyn is, I'm not.
Okay.
All right.
Back at the tavern, where Hope and Corbin are not, Gwynferon just randomly yells, "Hello, welcome back."
He's having a seer problem right now.
Okay.
this is the problem with divination and drinking.
Yeah,
is
you
you
just see
see them
random-
come back before they're actually back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lulu was following those guys for the first 2 cups, and then she just started in on a lot of food.
Good.
Yeah,
She shoves like a chicken leg or something at Gwenfron's mouth. Makes it easier.
They'll be back soon, but before we get there, there'll be yes and also but yes bits. There will be bits of them that are back, which will be interesting. And one of them is going to have sex with parts of one of the other one of them, which is going to be amusing.
Good to know.
Gwen, I need to figure out how to get you to hold more. Actually, you should probably have this tankard at some point.
I have one of those. It's in my bag.
Why didn't you use it?
Oh, he's drunk.
I did use it. I mean, not that one. I used mine, but also didn't.
You're much easier to understand like this.
That aside, back to Hope and Corbin.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember where you were either.
Okay. We're a lot. I think we started walking. Big
Yeah,
picture.
you
Okay.
started walking.
Yeah. Travel.
You're
Okay.
talking about the long way around.
I worry. Yep. Long way around. It could
Yeah.
go.
What else might get it?
Yeah.
Did they say other people or things are looking for?
I don't know. Do you have any idea? I asked the voice in my head.
Sorry, I was getting distracted by 3 different things. What was the question?
Do you have any idea if anyone else is going after the scales?
Nope.
No? I have no. It's really annoyingly limited sometimes. Just random stuff. Sometimes it's stuff I want to know. Sometimes lots of the times it's stuff I didn't want to know and just know now.
Yeah.
So. No.
Well, we'll get it done as fast as you want to get it done.
Okay. Okay.
We'll figure out the other things as we learn new stuff.
And that is why things never happen the way anybody thinks they should. But still, they happen.
I think it might be about time for you to go to sleep, Gwen.
What is time, really, when you think about it?
Zeno walks over and touches Glenferron and casts Greater Restoration. Would you please stop yelling in the middle of the tavern?
I wasn't yelling in the middle of the tavern.
You were yelling in the middle of the tavern.
Fuck you. I yell when and where I please.
Would you please stop yelling in the middle of the tavern?
Always. Yes, but not really.
Thank you. And he walks away.
So,
Jack, don't do that so close to the mic. That's actually loud. Yeah.
It was quiet on mine, but
so, I have like a healer's kit and a few other things. Given he's already kind of out of it, can I like make something to set him to sleep?
Sure, give me a medicine roll.
Cool.
give him some of that Selena wine.
No.
That's still in my bag of holding anyway.
Nice. 27.
Yes, you can make something. You can make a. Basically an anesthetic that'll put him to sleep.
Yeah. Just sort of like strikes a tinderbox, holds something under Gwenfron's nose. Pats his head.
Jack.
Yep.
Jack, do you need to go put food in your body?
Yes.
You should.
You
You
can
could.
probably go do
You
that.
should
You
go put food in your
Go
body.
do that.
Yeah.
Fuck you, you don't get to tell me what to do.
I didn't say to. I said you should.
But what is a should, really?
Suggestion.
A should is, don't you have a thing where not having food is really, really bad?
You are speaking of someone else. But there are incidents and there are occurrences and there are people who want to do stuff.
Jack, I think you're having a moment and should probably get some food.
I won't do whatever I don't want to do.
No,
This cup's empty.
It's a medical condition, but it's a funny medical condition.
I mean,
Okay, he muted it.
It's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hope and Corbin, please continue quickly
All right.
before he figures out the mute button.
Yeah.
Damn it!
So yeah, we'll figure out what we can do when we get closer to finding them.
Yep.
We'll try to find more options.
Mhm. Mhm. I'm gonna just go for a minute. I'll be back.
Where?
We should. Just gonna go. I have to go to a temple. And then I'll be back. We should find, because now Gwyn knows about the Adventurers Guild. I feel like we should go somewhere else. He's weird and just there when I don't want him to be there. So we should go find somewhere else to stay. I feel like just somewhere else.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know that weird doesn't apply to most of the people that either are at the Adventurers Guild or in this group, but
Yes.
all right, yeah, I
Just-
get what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yep. And I have to go talk to him. What was he doing when you left? Just
Gwen?
They were all drinking. That was just all they were doing.
I saw Gwen take a drink. I can't imagine he'd be too inebriated to talk, but
Okay. I have to go talk to him and then second date.
all right.
Okay. All right. And I head off
All right.
to a temple.
What temple do you go to?
I go to the Temple of Laretha.
Okay, you find yourself once more at this perfectly symmetrical, square-shaped temple. The damage done the last time you were here has been repaired.
Oh, they fixed it already. Good.
And yeah,
Okay. I go in. Is it how full of are there people around?
no.
But
There's
it's-
there's the one priestess still.
Okay.
Laretha doesn't get a lot of like regular visitors.
Yeah. No. Okay.
People don't like feeling like they're being judged.
No. It's annoying. I go and sit down. And for the record, I still don't like you. And this is no.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Laretha.
Oh. That's probably not a good way to open.
Okay.
You should be
How-
like, Dear Scalebearer, goddess
Mhm.
of truth and secrets, I don't like you. You have to like address it properly.
But I don't particularly enjoy all of them. I mean, like some of them are better than others, but like they're all generally like pulling on. I don't know. They're all. I lump a lot of them together. I think, just generally, it's a situation. Okay, fine. I don't like you.
Yeah,
She
you need
knows
to.
who She
I
knows
don't
who
think
I'm
she
talking-
does. I don't think she does.
Yeah. Ah. What is the point if they're so dense that they can't figure out who's talking to them? Okay. Hi, Laretha. I don't like you. There. Happy?
I mean, no, but I mean, you're more specific now.
Okay. Good. Don't like you. I'm doing this anyway. So. I guess. Do you judge people normally? I read that in a book today. I didn't really pay attention too much usually, like when I was supposed to be reading, so learned some stuff.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Okay.
Not you.
Jack. Jack, go get food.
12.
12. You just find your eyes being drawn to the scale that is sort of like superimposed on the wall on the backside.
Yep. Those again. You're very judgy. And like, I guess, sure, I maybe needed it, but you know, just in general, you're very judgy, and I don't like that. So, what's gonna help you make better decisions? Is that you're just making bad decisions right now? Because that seems like a bad way for a god to operate. Maybe you should step down and like let other people work. If you're gonna be sitting up there making judgments with the god of death about what happens to people, and I'm just gonna petition that maybe you made a mistake and I shouldn't have died.
Give me another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 6.
You don't get any sort of feeling or response.
Okay. Yep.
In the back of your head, I petition that you should have died because you got crushed underneath a big fucking worm.
Whose fault was that? Not mine. That was technically Baldrin's fault.
I
He was
mean,
blowing that stupid trumpet.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was Selena's fault that Kalen died, but that didn't stop Kalen from dying.
No, but she was trying to kill him. I don't think he was trying to kill me.
No.
I mean, I never technically asked him. But
It's the same principle, though. Just because it's someone's fault that you died doesn't mean you didn't die.
all right, fine. Well, this has been good. Good talk. Okay. I leave.
All right. Where are you heading to now?
I'm headed. Jack, are you capable of a conversation?
I have always been capable of many conversations.
Okay.
You head back to the Adventurers Guild?
Yep. I head back to the Adventurers Guild and I find if Gwyn has been sent up to his room. I will
I will
ask
note
whether...
that Lulu knocked Gwen out.
Gwen is
Yes.
currently face down on a table.
Oh, damn it. Lightweight. Okay.
Weight
Hope-
or mass?
Does he respond
He is
when I
he is talking in his sleep though.
Okay.
But yes,
Yeah.
when you poking him should be enough to wake him up. Lulu wasn't trying to put him into a coma.
Okay. Good. Good.
No, but now I'm mixing some more herbs just in case.
Gwyn, I need
Probably
to
a good
talk
idea.
to you. Can you talk?
Yes.
Okay. I need to talk to you not here. Just somewhere quieter.
Gwyn rotates on his chair about 30 degrees. Still about the same level of noise.
Yeah, somewhere else. Come on. I'm gonna
Pick a
grab
spot.
your arm. Okay, this way. I head toward my rooms.
Follows. Oh.
No, not doing that.
What? I was
Okay.
testing the sonics.
Okay. Sit you down.
Where?
If there's like a chair.
Yes, there are chairs.
Just
And a
couple
bed.
chairs. Yep. Chairs.
This isn't comfortable.
Okay. I don't want you to be comfortable.
That's a rather impertinent
welcome.
statement.
Mm-hmm. It's not the point of this. The point of this is to ask you some questions because I don't know who you are. I met you 2 days ago and you barged in, and now I have a thing I have to do. So I need to know who you are.
I've never barged into anything around you. I literally was standing at a place where you were going to show up. I was waiting.
Yeah, You were waiting because you knew where we were gonna be, and that's weird. And so you barged into our lives, and now you're
Excuse
here.
me. He pulls a rock out of his pocket.
What is that?
It's a rock. It's an
Okay.
obsidian extract.
All right. Why do you have a rock?
For just such a moment as this. If I let this go, is the rock going to know I'm about to let it go?
No, the rock doesn't have thoughts unless you've made a sentient rock because you're a wizard.
Does this rock look sentient to you?
No, but looks can be deceiving.
And if I drop it, what's going to happen to it?
Gonna fall.
How the hell did you know that?
Because gravity. Because they're...
What's gravity?
It's a law of the universe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I drop it,
Mm-hmm.
you say it's going to fall.
Unless you do some sort of magic on it.
Unless I do some sort of magic on it. All right.
Mhm.
And he drops it, and it lands in his hand. Is that where you knew it was going to end up?
Yeah, because your hand was underneath.
That is so weird. How could you have possibly known that? That is really, really weird. I'm very off-put by the fact that you knew that was going to happen. You see where I'm going with this?
How do you know what people are gonna do though? Because I do some random shit.
And I don't know all of it, but I know some of it. Just like
Okay.
you don't know everything about this rock, but you knew that was going to happen.
All right. So
Why
you know.
is that weird? What I knew, but you knowing that was somehow
Because
not weird.
most people don't know that.
What's most people?
Me.
You're not most people. You're a people.
Me and Corvin and most people, not you.
Sometimes people know things. Those people
Okay.
know things because of their past and their training and their knowledge or their experiences, all right? If somebody grew up in a world without gravity, they might not know that that rock was going to drop. Okay? So people know things, and it's not always weird. Anyway, what do you want to know?
Okay, so you're not weird because you just know where the rocks are. All right. So all right. So you found us because we looked interesting and had an interesting part to play in the rocks that are gonna fall in this universe.
More or
All
less.
right. Okay.
I get the feeling you're going to ask me how much I knew and why I didn't change certain things from happening in the past.
Yes.
Is there a rock on the other side of town that somebody's getting ready to drop?
Probably.
Is there?
Probably.
Not probably. Is there? That's what I want to know. Is there? Right now. Is there?
I don't know because I don't have your weird rock sense.
Okay. Guess what? I don't know either.
Okay. So you didn't know.
I don't
said you
know.
were-
Nobody knows everything except for, well, we're getting into. On our level, nobody knows everything.
Okay.
If something unpleasant was going to happen in your past and I had the capacity to prevent it, I would have. Because you're an individual that I've grown to have a level of familiarity with, and I have also a level of empathy that I've developed, whether from a deity that input it into my existence or from the natural progression of events from a disinterested level of existence. Sometimes bad shit happens, and while I prefer to be able to prevent it, I can't always. But the bad shit that I know about, that I try and prevent.
Okay. All right. So this will maybe help you prevent some bad shit.
Okay.
I have to find the scales of fate.
What are those?
They're the divine tools of the goddess Laretha.
Okay. So the goddess
Where you-
Laretha misplaced something and needs you to go find it.
Yes.
Okay. And when the goddess Laretha gets her scales of fate back, then what?
Then I die or something else happens.
Those are pretty much the two options, yes. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right.
The dying is the greater probability.
Okay. Why? Because you're a revenant?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you know a way to change that, which, based on all
Well, if we're dealing with
knowledge
the
that I
goddess
have-
of fate, she's a little more difficult than other people to get one past. I'll see what I can find. What happens if you don't go get the scales?
then someone else finds them.
And
I don't know. My mind will go through all of the possibilities of all the terrible things that could happen if someone else had the scales of fate. Like, what if Kaylin got the scales of fate? What
Kaylin's
if?
dead.
Yes, but what if Kaylin didn't die because Selena didn't kill him?
Did
because
Selena
we
kill him?
Yes.
Then we don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
Do we?
But what if someone like Kaylin got hold
Okay.
of them?
All right. All right.
Or Cal, or I don't know.
So the question I think you're asking me to answer is Hope getting the scales of fate and risking death worse than Hope deciding she does not wish to risk death, but somebody else finding the scales of fate?
Well, there's also the when and I'm asking the voice in my head, when would I have to start finding them? Because I can take a detour, but
Eventually you will.
When's eventually?
That's the only part that's set in stone.
When's eventually?
Eventually. I'm not the one moving the legs and arms. I don't have control over that.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay. All right. No, eventually I have to find them.
I mean, eventually, if you don't, I guess you start rotting. I don't know. I haven't been attached to this before either. This is new to me too.
Okay. No, because because of the revenant, I have to find them eventually, or
Okay.
I might lose control of myself. Is one possibility.
Okay.
I don't want that to happen.
No. No, you wouldn't.
There's also those really scary fuckers that are like warlocks whose patrons take over them after a while, and they become like skeletons and zombies, and that's really bad too.
Thank you. Thank you for that mental image.
Yeah. They start rotting, and like their eyeballs fall out, and their skin gets sunken in, and they turn blue. It's really creepy.
Joy. I might become a skeleton, like the guy in the library there. That'd be good. Be great. Yeah. So I sort of want to take control of the situation by going to find them.
Okay. So you want to do it on your own terms.
Yep.
Okay. And Laretha made you a revenant? Have you talked to him about it?
I just tried talking to her. She didn't answer. I saw some scales.
Okay. So the options, as you see it, are get the scales, possibly die. Or in your, from what you've told me, you think probably die.
Yep.
Don't get the scales, something worse happens.
Yes.
Okay. Assuming that those are the only two options, which may not be the case, but we're working with a limited amount of information currently, which do you prefer?
The first one.
Okay. So now that you've made your decision, operating from your own choice, which is kind of your bailiwick in this case, seems like we have a fairly clear-cut course that's been charted.
Yep.
Okay. I will help you with this as much as you need or want.
Okay. Oh, this is going to get me weird. I don't know exactly where they are.
And in the meantime, we'll keep our eyes out for alternatives.
I feel like I should define the parameters of acceptable alternatives.
That's
because
fair. That's reasonable.
Because I have been given some other ones by a strange man working for a thing that I do not trust, and some other options, including a weird wizard. So I feel like we should define this because I don't know. Okay.
You're looking for, but I feel like ideally for you is find the scales, also not die.
Yes.
Given the option.
Yes.
If that becomes an option, you'd probably want to chase that one. Okay.
Yep. But parameters, acceptable alternatives, do not include me selling my soul to something.
I feel like you kind of already have. And it's, while there are certain substances that can be sold to multiple people at the same time, souls not in my experience.
Okay. Well, yeah. Or consciousness. Okay. That's what I'm going for, because I nearly almost did in the Feywild a while ago. So, or on the edge of the Feywild. And I don't want to repeat that.
Here's the thing. in my limited knowledge, because revenants I feel are more of a cleric thing than a wizard thing. Sometimes a necromancer thing, but that's not my school. So you are, as I understand them, functionally immortal until you do your job.
Yeah.
Ish.
If I die, it's yeah. There's
if you die, you
issues.
come back, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
And you have that capacity until you get your job done. It seems to me that if continued existence is sort of what you're after, having a unkillable entity with a given directive that they are uniquely equipped to pursue is a very helpful tool to have in one's arsenal. That does not sound like a one-shot deal. Okay, you did your thing, now I'm benching you. So if continued existence is kind of your gambit that you're shooting for here, if we can get in touch with Laretha, maybe presenting the case that, hey, this might be a helpful tool to have on the board for an extended period of time rather than a one-shot deal. If that's good enough for you, might be a decent position that would be attractive to the party of the second part in this little contract you've got going.
Depends on what Laretha wants, because I don't know.
True. Right, because we don't know. But
It's weird.
a second bow for a second string for your bow, as it were, just in case, might be something you could potentially attempt to negotiate, given the opportunity. That's just me spitballing with basically 30 seconds of info. So we'll see what we can accomplish, though.
Well, good. This has been productive.
I'm glad you think so. Sorry I wasn't more help immediately, but I'll see what I can do for you.
Okay. Good. What do you know about the rest of the group? Your two friends? Did you just meet them too?
That's a very interesting question. Yes and no.
Okay. Is this a rock situation with them too?
This is, best I can tell, this is a reincarnation situation. Yeah.
How?
What do you know of Eidos?
Eidos is too much.
Okay. Well, basically, yeah. The universe exists, and every once in a while, Eidos eats the whole thing, and then it all starts over.
Mm-hmm.
Lulu and Gashkar and I were around during the meal that came previous to this course.
How on earth do you know that?
Because some people know that rocks are going to fall and other people don't, and I happen to be one of the ones that knows a bit more about rocks than most people.
You're either delusional or a genius, and I haven't decided yet.
Those two tend to overlap a little bit, in my experience.
So do you trust them? Did you trust them in this previous?
I did.
Okay.
And now apparently we're back for round 2, and I don't know if that's because we need to change something or because we need to do the same thing again. But we'll figure it out as we're figuring that bit out as we go along. Kind of like most people.
Okay. But they seem pretty chill in general and don't.
They're important. And they, like the rest of us, have a part to play to get things where they need to be. That's about as much as I know, though.
Where do things need to be? You keep saying this. Do you have...
Tower of the Gods needs to have a lot fewer demons in it. That's the main
Okay.
thing that I know.
Okay. All right.
And also, apparently, we also need to find some scales of justice. Or fate, or whatever.
Fate. Yes. All right. This has been good.
And we're
Good
talking
talk.
scales, not this grows on a dragon scales.
No. Scales, balance. Scales.
Okay. All right.
Just
Makes
so you
sense.
know, when we get there, I have to touch them. I have to get to them before
Is
anyone
this
else
a
does.
okay. I was gonna say, is this a I have to get to them or a literally nobody else but me should get to them? Okay.
Should. I
Okay.
don't know what they do to anyone else.
Legit. Good to know. I assume Selena and Corbin know all this already.
Yes.
I feel like Lulu and Gashkar should as well, but Scales of Fate are your thing, so I will let you make that call. Take
I
some
don't know
time, think
enough
on it.
about them yet.
Okay.
I don't know enough about them yet.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Good talk. Please leave.
Can do. Do you need anybody else at the moment?
No.
Okay. Have a lovely evening. Bye. And he will leave.
I will sneak out.
Give me a
after,
stealth check.
after Quinn leaves.
Give me a stealth check.
All right.
Just don't fall out the window.
Oh
While that's
no.
happening,
17.
I
While that's
sneak
happening-
out by throwing myself into a dumpster out in the alley.
Selena, Lulu, Gashkar, Corbin, what are you guys doing?
I'm still out.
Still out.
I'm drinking.
I'm drinking, but not challenge drinking anymore because I'm tiny.
Yeah, not challenge drinking. She's just
Normal
sitting at a table drinking.
And kind of staring at Selena.
Gashkar is having a large meal.
That too.
So
That too.
Three
Lots
of
of
you
food.
are sitting around a table, one of you staring at the other.
The third one just staring into a plate of food. Ah!
Yeah, Lulu's like grabbing food and shoving it in her mouth, but just sort of like trying to figure out the one who hates me for some reason.
Selena is oblivious.
Fair enough.
And the three of you sit in silence. Well, as silence as it gets. Hope and Corbin meet up.
Yes. Hey, Corbin.
Yeah.
I told him he's good.
Okay.
Yep. He seems
Okay.
pretty good. But guess what? I can fly now, because at some point in there, I assume I can attune to the rod.
Yeah, we'll say you can tune to it.
You can fly now.
Yes.
I
Because
smell a
of
Superman
this.
date in the offing.
I can fly really fast. Do you want to go flying?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna grab onto you, and I'm gonna cast fly on myself.
You
So I
cast
can
fly on
do it
yourself.
will, and I can dash, and
Yes, you can.
yeah. So I can go up to 180 feet at once in 6 seconds.
Give me an athletics check to
Should I
carry
do?
Corbin,
Okay.
because Corbin is not light.
Yep. Good job. Come
Oh,
on,
he's gone.
self.
Oh, and when you walked up on Corbin, he was just playing on a corner, just like playing the viol that he bought. And behind him on
Yes.
the wall is just, I'm bored.
Aw.
That's fucking
Aw.
amazing.
You rolled well enough. So yeah, Hope picks you up and flies through the night with you at 180 feet a second or
Yep.
something.
I do a
around.
lot of, yeah.
180
Really,
feet around, which
they're
is
going-
180 feet every 6 seconds. How fast is that?
Real fast.
30 feet a second.
Nice.
Someone pull up Wolfram.
20 miles, just over 20 miles an hour.
So it's flying
Okay.
around at 20 miles an hour.
At the speed of a cruising
Less
car.
impressive. Dang
Yeah.
it. Okay.
I mean, it's very
Sorry,
impressive.
car in first gear.
It's very
Here.
impressive. It's very impressive considering that you are not in a car or a plane
Yep.
and are just doing it.
Or even on a horse.
This thing's
Yeah.
fly speed gives you a fly speed equal to your walking speed.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no! It gives you fly speed of
Oh
60
no, it's
feet.
60. Oh
sorry.
wait,
So
no.
that's-
Then I'm going. Yeah, 180. That's why. That's why it was
No.
180. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
40.
Yeah, because it's 60,
For my
60,
walk.
60.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you can dash twice basically
Mhm.
in a turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is
Yeah.
pretty
That's
awesome.
how. Yep. So I go real fast, and then I do like loops and stuff.
All right, yeah, this is really. Why are we going upside down?
Wait, no, I think I can do this. Okay.
There's just a
Barrel.
constant Corbin Doppler effect happening.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yes.
And you fly through the night.
Mm-hmm. Eventually.
Unless there's anything else that you want to discuss. I'm assuming.
And that is how it came to be called the Corbin effect.
I'm assuming
Exactly.
you eventually end your date somewhere doing some combination of something or each other. And we wake up the next day.
Oh, thank God. Spell slots. Portents.
You all have
All
had a
sorts
long
of
rest.
Interspersed with fly.
Good.
Okay. Oh, I'm happy with these portents.
Oh, there's a 2 in there.
Gwynferon,
There's a 2, almost a critical fail.
Gwynferon, there was a spell you wanted to cast when you woke up.
Yes, there was.
Has the
Since-
target changed?
No.
Okay.
It is the name of the staff that he
Okay.
does have to some different spells, but yes, Legend Lore will be one of them.
Okay, so you cast Legend Lore on the staff of the Aetherborn. The staff of the Weaveborn.
Eveborn. Yeah. He doesn't need to know about the staff of the Aetherborn.
No, staff
He's got
of the-
robes that do that.
The staff of the Weaveborn.
Mhm.
You acquire the same knowledge you read in the book previously. It doesn't seem like there's much lore of this staff. It hasn't been used since it was created.
Oh, okay.
And as such, it does not have much of a legend to go on. All it has is the information you previously acquired.
Okay. Good to know. That actually is slightly additional information, though.
Yes.
Cool.
The fact that there is no additional information is in itself additional information.
Yep.
Right.
Awesome.
So you all
Good.
wake up.
Mhm.
I assume eventually gather together,
Mhm.
unless Selena goes on a burgling rampage for whatever reason early in the morning,
Nope. At the moment, not at all.
and you all sit
We'll
down
see how it goes. We'll see how the day goes, though.
in various states of awake.
All right. So,
So what's the plan, Dan?
Passage north.
yep.
We're gonna figure out a way.
North. North. Gwen was going to scry to let Selena see where we're going.
Yes. Hope, do you have a name of a place or something, or at least a rough description, anything to tell me what I'm looking for that we're going to try and have Selena teleport us to?
So the only town, the only like big named area, or like named settlement in Tirtar Narlin was the capital, right?
Yes.
I guess we had there.
Okay. One eyeball on some militaristic isolationist wood elves, hopefully, coming up. But before he does that, he's going to ritually cast Rary's telepathic bond. If Selena is willing. And anybody else who wants in on this
What is
shenanigan.
this?
Lulu's like Gwynferon will probably not be surprised by this because he's the one casting it. Lulu's consciousness sort of instinctively reaches out.
Okay.
Sort of expecting to be included in the bond.
All right.
Yeah, all of that happened.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Hold
yeah,
on, I need to
We're
look
good
up
for it.
the spell. I need to look up the spell really quick.
It's in chat.
it's in chat.
Okay.
Rary's telepathic bond, for those listening in or watching. You forge a telepathic link among up to 8 willing creatures of your choice within range, psychically linking each creature to all the others for the duration. Duration is 1 hour. Creatures with intelligence score of 2 or less aren't affected by the spell. Until the spell ends, targets can communicate telepathically through the bond, whether or not they have a common language. The communication is possible over any distance, though it can't extend over to other planes of existence.
So if any of you are on a different plane of existence, Gwyn will suddenly find out. And after that's active, since it does not require concentration, which I absolutely love, he is going to attempt. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. We're not there yet. Because we've always sort of brushed over. So I need some clarification for Selena to potentially let people inside her head on what telepathic link means in your games.
Communication. It's not they're not able to delve into your mind. You talk by thinking.
Right. But does it pick up random thoughts?
No, it's directed.
Does it? Okay, it's only specifically things
you have to go, I am thinking at you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's not mind bending. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
You are not
It's
Jaegering.
basically what it does, it gives you another form of communication that is telepathy with these specific people.
Say if you were sneaking and didn't want to talk.
That's fine.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Okay. Now, John, as far as things go, with a telepathic bond in place, is he able to share sensory perception?
Not strictly speaking, but you could make a roll to try.
Okay. In that case, he is going to. Let me see here. He's going to try and
It would be an
scry.
intelligence roll, so.
Okay, it'll be an intelligence roll. Cool.
Yeah.
He is going to try and scry to the city of Tir-Tar Naralan.
All right, good scry real quick.
If possible.
We should. They're not going to be. If they're isolationists, they're not going to be happy that we're arriving because we're strangers.
But just show up.
So Selena's gonna have to talk. Maybe they have wards in place to stop people from getting in, like what was
It's
over
true.
core.
Yeah, there is a chance that this scrying.
There's
just
also
won't
the
happen.
place in between where
So
normal people live.
because you know how the spell scrying works, Gwen,
Mhm.
you know you're not going to be able to scry there.
Oh, okay. All right.
You can scry on a person that you've never met before, but a location you have to have seen.
All right.
With
in that
scrying
case-
specifically.
In that case,
Can you scry on the object?
can I scry on it? Okay, that would be
An
there are
object,
two questions.
An
Yeah.
object, yes. You could scry on an object that you haven't seen before, yes.
Okay.
a
He will
location.
attempt to scry on the object then, for the scales of fate,
Okay.
if possible. We'll see how this pans out. I mean, he's willing to
Yeah.
give it a try.
Oh boy.
If my head explodes, please sweep it up and call a cleric.
Okay, so it makes a roll. Okay. What's your DC?
My DC is 18.
So you try, you sort of, with this, the name and sort of a vague mental image of what they might look like in your head, you reach out and try to scry on the scales, but you make no connection.
Okay.
You know they're there, but You
But I
couldn't
can't-
get
I
to-
can't
you couldn't
latch
see
on.
them.
Yep.
Yeah, you couldn't latch on.
Okay. All right. So he'll let everybody know that he made the attempt on the scales, couldn't get there.
What's this yellow part across the top of the elven forest? That yellow.
Looks like desert.
It is.
The desert?
It was not listed on the map.
Okay. What tech? That's desert then, based on the texture.
I can still try.
I
It's
mean,
only,
it's you don't know what it is because you haven't been there and it wasn't listed on the map. It's there on this map because it is a fairly large stretch of something, but it's not like a landmark. At least it is a landmark, but it's not a landmark that would have been on the map. If you ever go there, you'll find out.
Okay.
Yep.
50-50 shot.
To the
Well,
to
the other thing he's going to try, and John, I don't know how you'll rule this
So
one,
many suggestions I can't
whether he
do
would know ahead of time whether he could do this or he would have to actually try. He wants to attempt to scry on a low-ranking guardsman of the city of Tir-Tar Naralan.
Yeah, you can. I don't know if that's specific enough, Han.
It's usually not a category of
Yeah, no.
people.
You have to
It
have
has-
a specific person, yeah,
A specific, it has to have an individual in name.
Yeah.
Okay, could he do then the captain of the guard?
You would still have to. You'd have to
Okay.
know that that's a thing that exists.
Okay, all right. He can't try for. Okay, all right.
That's like-
just wanted to check. Just wanted to check.
You'd get the
Are
same
there
result
any-
as if you wanted to scry on the FBI director of the United States in the world of Gran Terra. Such a person
Okay.
doesn't exist.
Pull up
Lena, we
Google, check that person's
Yeah.
name.
You don't have Google though.
So Lulu will. Are there any animals that are only in that region?
Still probably a category,
We'd still want
Yeah.
to find a specific animal.
right? It has to
No.
be. Can't be a category of
I'm
people.
Just
or-
gonna throw this
yeah.
out there.
Yep.
Maybe this is a place we can't get to with magic yet.
I mean, like I said, we can 50-50 shot.
it might
That
be
is
close
pretty high for us.
to the Feywild, Selena.
Sorry, I'm not able to narrow this down for you, Selena.
What if
But
we-
hey, we can talk in each other's brains for the next hour. Consolation prizes.
I mean,
Yeah,
the alternative is we
I'm
intentionally
casting
go to the
Dispel
Feywild.
Magic at this point.
No, he can.
I'm-
If anybody's not wanting to keep this going, I assume he can just drop it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like that used up a spell slot. It was a ritual cast. So,
Fair enough.
okay.
I'm just saying 50-50 shot or, oh darn, we can walk.
Or
Mhm.
sail. We could take
Or-
a water vehicle and cut the distance in half.
If you want a name, would anyone here know people from there?
Would a name be enough, or would you have to?
A name would be enough.
A name would
okay.
be enough, probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Lulu will
sometimes.
get up. We're in the Adventurers Guild, right?
Yep.
Go to the barkeep. You know anyone who's mentioned being from a place called the Feywood or Tir-Tar Naralan?
I don't know about the Fey Wood. I know Lillian is from the Fey Wild.
No, we
As
don't
if
want to
pointing
go.
over at who you can see the Valor Sanguinis are in the building off to one side. And,
Okay.
and points
So
over to
Lulu will just walk
Elf.
over and sort of plant herself behind Lillian, which now that I think about it, Lillian's an elf, right?
yes,
so she's
Lillian.
tall.
They are tall. Yeah.
Oh, right. They're tall. And she'll look up. Lillian?
This very even for an elf, ephemeral looking elf, sort of turns and looks down. Yes, small one.
Do you know a place called the Feywood that's connected to the Feywild?
I know of it on the Feywild side. Yes.
Do you know anyone who'd be on the material side?
Potentially. It would depend on whether or not the connection there has been reestablished or not.
It's there now. Lulu will go collect Gwenfron, which means either dragging him or picking him up, whichever is more expedient.
If there's any level of communication, hey, I found somebody who might know something, yeah, he'll walk over.
Yeah.
So
He's the one who can.
This is
check.
the second time you've met Lily and Gwenfron.
Right.
You recognize an Eladrin just because
Yeah.
you're also an elf, and there are very distinct differences between the two the sub races. Lillian is this sort of tall, thin, again, even for an elf, ephemeral elf.
And he'll explain sort of what we're trying to do. We need to get to the Feywood or the regions thereabout, and in order to make the ease of transition easier, I'm attempting to scry on an individual so we can get a fix on a location so we can teleport there.
If the Feywood is in existence, I can actually just take you directly there. I'm familiar with the trees.
Fair enough. If you're willing to offer that, I will see what I can make sure that the rest of the group is okay with that. And he will go provide that offer to the rest of the gang.
So I have a question, John.
Yes.
The spell teleport says this spell instantly transports you and up to 8 willing creatures of your choice.
Yes.
Can it teleport without teleporting me?
You want to send us and stay behind?
No.
So yes, it would.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it can't teleport without teleporting you. You are the conduit.
All right.
Well, I mean,
Lillian will take us there.
to the Feywood.
Isn't that the place you said you didn't want to go?
I definitely don't want to teleport there. No, that's thanks. But I think we're good.
Okay. I should probably
So I
go there
guess we're
myself,
walking then.
I'm probably fine.
Again, we can sail as well.
I guess we're walking.
Do you have something against the open sea?
I know.
We could. How?
Let me see how well Lulu remembers the map, if at all.
It'd be a long voyage, wouldn't it?
You'd have to. So in order to sail,
Yeah, we'd have to go around.
You could sail out of Kor,
Mhm.
which would go around the Warring Peninsula, then up into, and finding a port somewhere along the northern side of the water, which would take you past Dagger Point. You could go through the Warring Peninsula and try to find a port there, although it's currently at war with Kor. So
Yes, definitely.
you could go through the Umbral Forest to the north side of that. You could go to Desolation or basically anywhere else that's touching the water and try to sail.
But if we're walking, we have to kind of walk all the way through Desolation and around, and then pass through the entirety of the Feywood, right?
And from my reading, Desolation is not a pleasant place, and you would still have to pass through the Feywood on foot.
That seems. I'd want to, because there's an area it can be in.
There is a section of land on the other side of the mountains of Underhold that touches the water, but you're not certain if there'd be a port there or not.
If you want to avoid the Feywood, sailing is your best option.
I think it was less about avoiding the Feywood than having somebody who apparently spends time there teleport us there.
Mm-hmm.
Directly into there.
Well,
I read about
transport via plants is what
Yes.
Lelian is offering.
I know.
Mhm.
Okay.
I read about the Feywild. It's trusting things from there. I don't know that much about Lelian. They wanted us to find
Exactly.
a satyr that had gone. I don't know what's going on with the Feywild. I'd rather go on.
And you'd rather walk through it on foot with no guide?
Well, it
Lulu
depends
We'll
on
just
if it's
raise our
there.
hand.
Yeah.
Lulu
Yeah.
raises the hand.
Yeah, which may not actually be that visible because
It's just
tiny.
like around the table, you just see a hand on one side.
Just the wrist up on the
She's,
table.
Yep,
she's
yep.
sitting on a chair, like probably on the edge of a chair, not on the base of it, so that she
So
has.
you see, it's like
height,
like shoulder up, like.
Eh, she might clamber onto the table, but she sort of remembers that you're not supposed to do that for some reason. She'll.
Lulu?
Trees can be at the edges of places that have trees.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That might be better. Right, that we have no idea what we're going into. Yeah. I
If-
mean, one of them.
So, when I found you, I sort of got pointed in the right direction and then wandered until I smelled him, pointing at Gwenfron, and then focused from there. You need to find something. Do you know what it smells like, what it looks like? Will you know anything more when we get
I
there?
know where it is. I know I can feel it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yep. So we just have to get closer, and I don't know. That's. Doesn't feel as safe as going from the other side, but
Do you want to sail to the opposite side of the continent? Do you
No,
want to walk on foot through the Feywood, or do you want to teleport to the edge of it? Those seem to be our three options.
We could just go directly
Or
north through the
or
Underworld.
Selena's teleport, which has a 50-50 chance of putting you where you want or killing you.
I mean, yeah.
yeah. I don't
As a
want to kill the
player,
group.
Selena's teleport is the best option.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably won't kill us.
Deal severe amounts of damage too.
Yes.
We're
What a week out
We
we've got.
suffered worse.
yeah.
Probably.
You feeling lucky, Selena?
You feel lucky? Do
You
you?
really want us
I mean-
to teleport?
Gashkar, how
Okay. She's starting to do it.
Oh boy. I
Well-
grabbed Corbin's hand.
What was Corbin's
We-
question?
never mind, magic's already being cast. I just chugged
Roll
I just
me
grabbed the nearest beer and like, let's do it.
Only
And
do
drink.
100.
Okay. Hold on just a second.
We are going on the description familiarity.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I'm
That's
so
what I
excited.
figured.
Yep. And
Uh,
I wanted to get to the edge basically of Tirtar Narlin because it's somewhere in here, and so
Somewhere on the border between
yeah,
Tirtar Narlin and the
because we don't
Feywood?
know if they have wards that are gonna prevent us from getting in. So I'm aiming for the border, if that's where Selena's casting us to.
Which border? Okay, like there.
Yeah, basically like yeah.
There's
somewhere
this
along
region that Lulu
that
knows some stuff.
Well,
Eastern border.
Selena has her own desires.
Okay, yeah, yep. Where are you bringing us?
Yeah.
Selena's aiming
Where
for
are
the
you bringing us,
Highlands.
Selena?
Selena's plan, yeah,
Oh no!
because that's a longer trip. We're gonna go for like, oh, I don't know, there.
Okay.
Other end of the Highlands.
Okay. Let's see how the dice roll.
Yes,
boy.
let's.
So excited.
Okay. There's a mishap.
Welcome to the mishap table.
I'm so
Tune in next
excited.
week, guys, for new characters.
The benefit is I now get to start rolling the D100s.
So everybody takes 10 force damage.
Okay.
Wow, that is remarkably low. Well done.
And I now I roll to see where you end up. And I will roll this publicly.
Good.
Another mishap.
So there is another
3D.
26 damage.
Ooh,
Ow! Now it's starting
That
to
one
hurt.
hurt.
All right. And this is force damage, by the way, just in case
Yes.
anyone has that one thing that helps with that. All right. 46 is...
That is similar area.
Similar area. All right. So...
Thematically or visually similar
Yep.
To the Highlands?
to the Highlands.
So, first, the spell happens. And all of you feel as if you're being ripped apart
wait,
at the atomic level.
Wait. There is one thing that needs to happen first.
Oh.
Okay.
okay.
That would have
would've
been great if it had been a magic surge.
All of you actually... Well, no, you've had a long rest, so I don't have that anymore.
Correct.
Fireball, teleport.
Sadly,
Everybody in the Adventurers Guild dead.
because I would be all for.
I mean, they would probably just go, damn it, adventurers.
So, first of all, you all feel as if you're
It'll
being ripped
take a
apart
lot of while.
at the atomic level. Just
Yep.
there's
happens.
intense level of pain, more than
I
you've
have a
ever experienced
question.
while teleporting.
I have
Yes.
a brief question.
Yes.
Is Zeno coming along, or was he?
Nope.
Okay,
No.
just checking. Just checking.
I decided for the one.
And you slam into the ground, scattering into various places as you do so. Landing in this sort of grassy, wide open field. With this pounding headache. And you sort of
Oh,
gather
that's
yourselves
the
together.
good pain.
Ow.
Son of a bitch, Selena.
Ow.
Hey,
Ow. Where are
That's-
we?
I told you. I gave you fair warning. I was good with walking.
I'm
get
trying
up,
to look around and
Brush
see
off
where
my
we are.
ass.
The
with
sound
looking
of
around.
water draws your attention to the north of where you're standing. You find yourself standing on a plateau that overlooks a large rushing, not fairly narrow because you can see in the distance vaguely. In the distance, you can see sort of land across the water from you. And you sort of like turn to sort of the east and west and see mountains off to the east and just more grassland off to the west. And there's actually a road not too terribly far from you because it's sort of like a road that sort of wanders up the cliff face, and there's a wagon sort of riding past. It's sort of that has stopped because you all just appeared out of nowhere and slammed into the ground looking over.
Yep.
And just a bunch of groaning in a field
Yeah,
for like
And
5
you hear
minutes.
you sort of hear from off the distance. Are you okay over there?
Where are we,
We're
sir?
good.
Just a few hours away from Cliffwatch in the Empire of Taram.
Do I know where that is?
Oh, we're
I
nowhere
feel
near.
like that's pretty near where I'm from, so do I know where that is?
You are here.
Excellent.
God damn it.
And that's where we'll
No,
end.
no. That's
this week.
perfect.
So
That's
No!
what was your
perfect.
question again?
See you all next time. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.